I'm sweating. It's like 100 degrees in here and this Dodge needs some help. Let's tear it down, throw some new parts at it. Let's get started. Okay, something I'll point out real quick. Before I pull the distributor, I always like to get the engine at top dead center. What I do is I wanted a TDC of the #1 compression stroke. So I bar the engine over after I remove the #1 spark plug. I put my finger over the hole, or you can use a compression checker. You just need to be able to figure out when there's pressure, not sucking your finger in, but pushing your finger out, okay? Then once you know that, you know you're on the compression stroke, go down there and look on the balancer and look at the timing marks. It's hard to see right now, but trust me, we're lined up at 0. And then as a triple check, when you pull the cap off of the distributor, you should be pointing at the #1. I went ahead and marked #1 here. This is #1. It was in fact pointing at #1. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark the location of everything here so it's obvious. Take a picture. So when I go to drop that distributor back in, as long as I didn't bar the engine over and it's still at TDC, that'll be lined right back up and it'll fire right off. Got those intake and the China walls as clean as I care to go. It is a little scary using those roll locks because you throw a lot of dust. If this was a brand new engine, I mean, you wouldn't be doing this, but we would be much more careful. But this thing it is what it is. So we got it as clean as we could. We cleaned out the valley. We've got this all taped off because now that this is roughly clean, we've got to go take the water pump and the timing cover off, and I've got to do the same thing on the front of the engine too. So we're gonna try and keep that clean while we do this. I've got to figure out a way to support the AC unit on this so I can get to everything else. This thing is pretty heavy, so I've got to figure a spot that I can set it safely. I might use a block of wood or something across the fenders or over the valve covers. I don't know yet, but we're gonna get out of the way. Then we can tackle this, and then we can look at that timing chain, which I know is super loose. Okay, one thing we're gonna do is when I pulled the distributor, I was on the #1 firing stroke, and I thought I was on TDC of the compression stroke, but it's possible that I'm on the exhaust. And why I think that is I'm currently at what we call dot over dot. So there's a dot down here, it's hard to see, right there where my finger is on the crank sprocket, and another one up here. Now, this does half a revolution for every revolution of the crank. So what I think I'm going to do is rotate this over one more time so this dot is lined up with that dot, just to ease getting things on and off, and then I'll spin it back over one more time so it's like this, so my distributor lines up. with that, the engine is torn down as far as we need to go. Basically, in the next video, you're gonna see me install a new timing chain. So we're gonna do new timing chain, we're gonna do a new water pump, new timing cover, all new seals. We had a ton of leaks, new intake, new carburetor, some changes to the fuel system. We're gonna reroute some lines, flush some things. This thing is gonna be great. Thanks for watching. We'll do a time lapse of the reinstall. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments and let me know what didn't make sense. And this was my first time doing a Mopar, so hopefully I can help you out. But stay tuned because there's gonna be tons more videos for this truck coming up soon on the channel. See you soon.